Hi. Excuse me. My name is Vanessa. I am a certified personal trainer. You can check out my credentials. I'm going to try to have them in the description below. I'll be doing, on this video, I'll be doing some core exercises. I'm going to try to do 9 core exercises, which is what I have on the list here. I'm going to try to do them in under 30 minutes. Not that I'm going to try to speed through it, but I know that 30 minutes is the time frame that I have for doing the short movies on this particular camera. So, I'm going to start with, the first one is called Spidey's. And if anyone has ever seen the movie Spider-Man, then you'll understand the reference that I made to this particular exercise. Yeah, I do have my jacket on right now. It's a little bit chilly. As I warm up, I'm sure that the jacket will, that I will shed the jacket and possibly toss it off to the side. Now, those that are advanced can do this on the floor. I'm going to show the beginner and intermediate version of this. Now, if you've seen the movie Spider-Man, then you've seen how he climbs up the wall doing this motion here. Okay? Now, for those that are beginners, oops, all the way up there. For those that are beginners, you hold your feet out here and you tap to the side like this. Okay? That's for beginners. Intermediate, get your gliders or your furniture movers. And I've discussed this in previous videos, so if you want to find out, learn where I got these, you can get them at Walmart, but I give more specifics in another video. Hands on the step, core tight, leg out to the side, leg out to the side. For advanced people, you go down to the floor and you do the same thing. Sorry, I had a snack before I came down here and did this. Scissors on the Bosu. I'm going to move this stuff off to the side. Put this bench right here. There we go. Get the Bosu out. Scissors on the Bosu. Now you can do scissors on the floor. It would almost be a Pilates focused move if you did that. But scissors on the Bosu requires muscles that are intrinsic for balance and coordination. So those that are beginners in this, you can either scissor this way, leaning back, or scissor this way. You do it this way, it works the inner thighs. You do this, and it works the top of the legs. Now, for advanced people, you can lean back like this, and I'm going to hold on to this step just to ensure that I'm not going to fall off. Or do it like this. Yeah, you can tell. I haven't done Bosu activity consistently in a while. Mainly because when I do, this ankle gets aggravated. Okay, windshield wipers. I'm going to move this out of the way, scoot it over to the side. Windshield wipers. I'm going to show you from a side view, which it tends to be easier for people to see. Okay, I'm going to roll down if you have blood pressure issues, or you find that you have stress in your head or neck when you're lying down, like when you lay down, if being in this position is uncomfortable, and your vertebrae, it being in its normal position, regular posture, is tilted forward slightly, then put a pillow behind your head for this one. Okay? Alright. Arms out to the side, and the reason I have the arms out to the side is if you have your arms bent and close to the body, when you do this, and you come over like this, you're more likely to fall. The knees are more likely to fall to the floor. If you have your arms here, you can use it to assist you pushing into the floor slightly to help balance the body so that the knees are not going to fall to the floor. Beginners, knees bent, all close to 90 degrees, if not a little more. Intermediate, up here. Advanced, all the way up. Now you're going to bring the knees over to one side. I'm going to bring them towards the camera. Now, my abdominals say if you go too much lower, we're going to fall down and you're going to lose alignment. So use the abdominals to pull the knees into the body. Go to the other side. And pull. Contracting those abdominals really forces your body to pull the legs in towards the body. Inhale. Exhale. As you pull the legs in. One more. Okay. Rocking myself up. Mountain climbers. Now, the good news is the only prop that you might need would be a step. Now, you don't have to use a long bench like I'm using. I just happen to use it because it's close. You can use a step like this. That's fine. It's a stackable one. No problem. And if you don't have one that is this tall, or you don't have benches like this, but you have a chair that is taller, you can use a chair too. That's fine as well. And so for the mountain climbers, yeah, I gotta shed the jacket. For the mountain climbers, toss that off stage. Up here. What I'm going to be doing, coming out here into what's called a modified plank. For beginners, bringing one foot in, touch the toe, then switch, and switch. This is for beginners. One, this is going to really burn the shoulders, and you're going to focus on the abdominals here, getting the endurance going. Intermediate, don't touch the floor in the front. Notice I'm bringing my knees into the chest. Advanced, speed it up, and those that are advanced, go to the floor. Don't use the step. Okay? Now, ab glider pulls. Now, for ab glider pulls, there are really two ways of doing this. I'll show you the beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And if I can't do the advanced as well as I would hope, then I can hopefully verbally guide you through it. Okay, so for the glider pulls, it's similar to the walking wheelbarrow, but you're stationary. So what you're going to be doing is, beginners, you're on your knees, you're in this modified plank, pulling your knees in, and then pushing them out again. I'm going to adjust my knees on that one. Pulling the knees in, guiding them out again. there is a sticking point, and you're going to notice that. So you want to engage the lower abdominals, curve, tuck the pelvis under. Tucking the pelvis under, bringing the lower part of the abdominals towards the chest. And then reversing that, trying to stick the booty up in the air without actually doing this motion here. Okay? For intermediate. Now for intermediate, you can use the bench with this. I find that when I use the bench and I'm doing this for the intermediate or advanced, I don't feel it as much in the abdominals. You can do it, I just don't feel it as much. And so I'm going to move the gliders further back, put the toes on the gliders. Okay. Now pull in and down. Now between reps, you can rest your knees if your back is bothering you. Advanced, let me see if I can do this. For advanced, it's almost like a pike. So, it's along those lines. I cannot get my butt to spike as high in the air. However, I think I got the job done. Bosu arm sweeps. Bring the Bosu back over. Now, I want to show you a side view here. It's going to be easier if I show you just the side view and not front view. Not that you shouldn't see the front view, but if you see a side view, it's going to give you a better idea the direction, how it's supposed to look. So, sit ever so slightly in front, not directly on top, because when you lean back, you're likely to fall off. I'm going to have my knees bent, feet on the floor. Now, you can have your heels on the floor only and have the toes pointed up. That's fine. I may do that. So, arms forward. And what you're going to do is you're going to lean back, but you're going to rotate your torso to one side and sweep the arm in that direction. So, lean and sweep. Sweep it front. Other arm. Lean and sweep. Sweep it front. And I'm sitting upright. I'm not leaning forward further than when I can sit up tall. So when I'm sitting up tall, I'm just sitting up. Leaning back, coming forward. Leaning back, coming forward. And side ball crunch. Now, this particular exercise is difficult. It is difficult. I'm going to move some props out of the way here. And I'm going to show you a space up against this wall. And in fact, I've got to turn the camera to that particular position. If anybody is dizzy, I do apologize. But in order to show you this exercise, I have to show you how to do it up against a wall. Stability ball. Okay. Your feet are going to be up against a wall. And you're going to have to play around a bit with this a little bit. If you like this exercise, if you find that it really targets the obliques the way that you like it to, then you're really going to have to play with this to see the position, how much you like it. And as you can tell, It's a little bit difficult for me to get myself into position, and I've been doing this a little while. Okay. Yes. Stability balls can be trying and taxing, as you can see. However, when you find an exercise that you really enjoy, that challenges you, you stick with it. Okay, feet up against the wall. Now, you can have your hand on the ball for balance, or as long as the length of your arm permits, you can have it on the floor. You can either have your hand here or place it on the leg, because you're going to be bringing this ear, the top ear, towards the wall. So, like that. Okay. Whoops. Don't do that at home. I'm going to get off like this, reposition myself. There we go. Good. Alright. Good. I'm holding on to the ball just to permit myself to have something addition for stability. I'm feeling it all along here. Now, if you're not careful, you could wind up being like this on the ball and doing this motion here, which works the back, the muscles in the back, and that's not what you want. You need to have... That was nice. You need to have the side of the waist facing that ceiling. If the side of the waist is facing the opposite wall, it's no good. And I'm going to keep that in the video to show you it's okay. You're going to fall off some of these devices. Okay? It's alright. Don't worry about it. And if you cannot do this particular exercise, then sticking with a crossover crunch is going to be fine too. It's okay. If that's too advanced for you, don't do it. Stay with a crossover crunch. And I've shown you that in a previous stability ball video. Now, moving on. Okay, crunches with weights. I'm going to reposition the camera once again. Oh, sorry. There we go. Alright. Moving some props. Moving the ball out of the way. Okay. Bosu out of the way. Good. Gliders. And step. Now, I'm going to use a pair of fives, not just a 5-pound dumbbell, but a pair of fives. Crunches with weights. Okay. Now you can do this with a single 5, or you can do it with lighter weight. Your choice. I'm going to do it with the pair of 5s. And if I find that it's a little too difficult, then I will what's called pyramid down, which means removing one weight. Or if you have just the one weight, going down to a single lighter weight. Bending the knees, feet on the floor, rolling yourself down. Those with blood pressure issues, put that pillow under your head. Those with neck problems that have a hard time lying on the floor in this position without their neck hurting, put that pillow under your head. Okay, weight at the chest. One hand needs to be on the weight, the other hand behind the head. You're not going to use the arms to do anything other than hold the body part or weight in place that it has in its hand. Nothing more. Use the abdominals to lift the head and shoulder blades off the floor. That's it. This is the extent of the exercise. If you find that these weights are compressing your lungs too much and it's difficult to breathe, remove one weight and try that. And if one weight is too much, go down to a lighter weight. Or if you're just starting out, do it like this. Hands behind the head. This is fine too. Rocking myself up. One final exercise. Okay, I'll show you planks in 2 or 3 different ways. And then I've got to go have my lunch. And then I'll come back and do some other exercises. Okay. So, in this position, this is a beginner plank. Okay? Staying in this position, from your head down to your knees, should be roughly one line. Okay? Now, if you want to make this exercise more difficult, come down to the elbows. You may want to put a towel or a cushion, something here, so that the bones in your arms, the muscles in your arms, are not aggravated by the hard surface. This is like beginner 2.0 or something. This is still in the beginner position, but it's more of a progression than a regression. Now for intermediate, you come up here onto the toes, and you do this, still on the step. And if you don't have a step like this at home, you could use a chair. It's okay. Using the abdominals. Now, to progress from here to like a intermediate 2.0, come down to the elbows. Same thing as before. Okay. Now I'm going to show you an advanced plank and a secondary advanced plank. Hands and knees onto the toes. Holding in the core. Now I'm going to come down to the knees just long enough to come down to the elbows. And then I'm going to come up onto the toes again. The reason that I did not just come right down to the elbows and release to the knees. The reason I did not just come on down to the elbows is those that have lower back problems, they need to bend the knees to relieve the pressure in that low back. That's the reason I did that. And I know I didn't state it when I did it at the time, but those that have back issues, low back issues, they know they've got to release down to the knees. So anybody that did not know that, sorry, it does happen. And the next video that I'm going to do, either today or later in the week, will be full body exercises. Now, each exercise won't necessarily hit every muscle in the body. It will hit more than one muscle in the body. It's going to be a 3-dimensional or multi-joint exercise. And so I tried to put that in there so that with the combination of the different exercises that are in there, hopefully it will work total body. If you did enjoy it, this video and others, subscribe. If you've already subscribed, click the like button at the bottom and let me know what you think. Bye.